SEO search engine optimization. If you have looked into digital marketing in recent years, it's possible that you heard the phrase SEO is dead. However, nothing could be further from the truth. Search engine optimization has been the lifeblood of being found through the searches for well over a decade, and it will continue to be the important for years to come. The dead part of you is attempting to manipulate the signals that search engines use for ranking sites. In recent years, Google and other search engines have caught on these many signals and vowed to minimize the effect of the manipulation and panels those sites that have used those practice, especially in excess. So far the so so far the you it should be relevant, useful, and important. It is still from Hollywood, as he will is making sure that your website is following specific best practices so that Google and other search engines can see and track your website. I will put it in that way. SU is creating or improving your website, sometimes in ways that aren't visible, so that the search engines recognize it as being relevant, useful, and important in regards to the questions asked by the search engine. Think that your site is relevant, useful, and important. Do a search. It should drink in the search engine results pages. That is also known as SERMs. Unfortunately, SU is not the one and done process. It can be a relatively slow process at the outset and requires consistent efforts to maintain, so such engines are constantly evolving and your strategy has to be able to evaluate them. The buffer for good as your campaign is unbeatable, but it is a very competitive and fast paced environment. So, you should also note that successful rankings and check from SU seldom happens overnight. Instead, you will need to constantly removed on your site to make sure that everything is working properly and being seen by search engine. Additionally, and it is tells you that you should understand that your isn't really about being ranked number one for one specific, but in fact the best strategies get many different keywords and focus on generating lots of traffic, not just more traffic for your site. Think about it. Would you rather have 1,000 visitors with only 10 converting into customer, or even if it is does with 15 include customer? Don't get too stuck on hacking specific keywords and overall traffic numbers that you lose sight of the overall result that can come from your SUS strategies. Now, to keep back to event knowledge, our event technologies is all of the planning that goes in ahead of time. Make sure that the event runs smoothly and that people are aware that the event is happening so that they can attend. For example, if you are hosting a public event, you want to have the event fully planned and scheduled ahead of time, that there are favor opportunities for problems to arise. You would also need to follow applicable deadlines and guidelines in order to make sure that the local newspaper, magazines, and events listing listing are able to publish information about your event in the event calendar so that people who might be interested in your event can hear about it. The next thing is start with a strategy establishing, and as your strategy is like planning your event, the more thought you put into who you want to attend and who are going to let them know about your event, the more successful you will be. So your strategy should begin with these questions: who is your ideal customer? They are located there. Do they spend their time online? What words and terms might be used to search for companies like yours? What does your likely intent behind each such query? The next thing to consider is optimize your website. Once you have a strategy in place, you need to optimize your website. Doing so is like following the rules and guidelines established for having your event listed in event calendars and listings. Typically, you can't just call the publisher often. Event could end on the day of your event and expect it to be listed. Similarly, you can't expect SEO to launch you to the top of the search result overnight. Now, I would provide you with some of the most foundational ways in which you should optimize proved upside to yield non time as your results.